Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 11 of 2025, we had 153 tournaments, with a total of 3,110 players and 10,975 games played. As I'm sure we have all seen, the balance update has been released by GW. As it was released roughly halfway through this period, it will not have seen play across the vast majority of tournaments. Therefore, this week will serve as the last week of the old meta before the new one starts next week. With that said, the Space Marine is top of the charts with 28 wins, 77 top 3s and a weight base of 23.4, which is a fair bit higher than the last time. This has been roughly around the normal performance for Space Marines overall. As always, stay tuned until later on in the video, where we will cover the individual chapters. The Orcs are in second this week with 18 wins, 33 top 3s and a very impressive weight base of 8.1. If we discount the Imperial Agents who only have a very small number of players, this is the best weight placing by a good margin. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to do well, as their best attachment was nerfed, but they've got a new option with the more Dakar attachment, looking good. The Custodians come next with 12 wins, 38 top 3s and a weight base of 13.3, which is the third best from the factions with a decent number of players. The Guard come next with 10 wins, 27 top 3s and a weight base of 21.7. The Eldari get 9 wins, 37 top 3s and a weight base of 29.7. Do a bit worse than last time where they got a weighted base of 22.4. They're still doing reasonably well, but could drop down lower with some nerfs incoming. Imperial Knights also get 9 wins, with 26 top 3s and a weighted base of 12, which is the second best this week, not accounting for Imperial Agents. The remaining factions in blue all get 8 wins, being ranked by the number of top 3 placings. Chaos Demons get 30 top 3s and a weight base of 17.8, which is a little lower what they have been doing. The Death Guard get 28 top 3s and a weight base of 17.1. The Necrons are the last faction in blue with 23 top 3s and a weight base of 25.6. The Tyrannids top the green group with 6 wins, 18 top 3s and a weight base of 27.7. The World Eaters also get 6 wins with 9 top 3s and a weight base of 19.8. The Grey Knights get 5 wins with a weight base of 15.2. Chaos Knights get 4 wins with 15 top 3s and a weight base of 18.3, with Admech getting the same number of wins with 7 top 3s and a weight base of 13.8. We have 7 known factions in yellow, with between 1 and 3 wins. The Sisters are still in red, failing to pick up a win. 22 factions manage this one top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with a whopping 276. Eldari remain in second with 104 top 10 placings. Custodians are in third on 92 top 10 placings. The Space Marines are the most played faction with 18.3% of all players taking them. Eldari are the second most popular on 6.85%. Guard are in third on 6.82%. We've had the same top 3 for a few weeks now. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour with the key at the bottom of the screen. This week Imperial Knights top the charts with a win rate of 56.7%, making them the only faction above the Goldilocks zone. They have been doing well and have done even better this week. GW has seen fit to give them a very slight buff, so I expect them to stay very close to the top once the new rules see play. There are a few unknown players, followed by the Eldari on 54.5%. They've done even better than last time, where they got 52.4%, but as stated, I'd expect this to drop as they are getting some nerfs. Chaos Demons are in third this time with a win rate of 53.6%. This is still very good, but a bit below the 56% they have been consistently getting. With massive changes to how the faction works, it is hard to predict where they will end up, but I would imagine they will drop down a significant amount. The Votan are next on a win rate of 52.3%, which is very good for them. I do not think they will still be around this level when the balance changes are in widespread use. The Custodians get a win rate of 51.4%, and are likely to stay roughly around the same level in my opinion. The Gene Stealers and Chaos Knights are the last factions in green, both with a win rate of 50.2%. The Gene Stealers will drop back, but the Chaos Knights should stay around the same or improve a little. The Orcs top the yellow group with a win rate of 49.8%, despite getting the best weighted placing this week. The Death Guard are close behind on 49.4%, with the Admech on 48.6%. Space Marines overall are on 48.3%, and we will cover the divergent chapters in the chapter breakdown. The Grey Knights get a win rate of 47.5%, with the World Eaters on 47.4%. Guard get a win rate of 46.4%, with the Necrons on 46.3%, and Chaos Space Marines on 45%. We have 4 factions in yellow, but below the Goldilocks zone, with them all getting a buff other than the Tyranids. The Thousand Sons and Sisters are in red, and while the Thousand Sons have been higher recently, the Sisters have been firmly at the bottom, and even with the buffs, I think they were still struggling in the new meta. With the balance data slate coming, the running totals will give a good indication of what factions were doing the best. As always, we will reset the running total when the balance update sees play. Chaos Demons are still at the top of the running total win rate with an impressive 56.2%. I can see why GW heavily nerfed the Legion of Excess, which is their strongest option right now. Imperial Knights remain in second place with a win rate of 53.4%, and look like they will continue to do well. Custodians move into third with a win rate of 51.7%, which is now narrowly above the Death Guard on 51.6%. The Gene Stealers and the Eldari are the last factions in green, both on 50.7%. The vast majority of factions are in the Goldilocks zone, with only 3 factions below. The Tau have a win rate of 44.2%, Imperial Agents have a win rate of 42.8%, with the Sisters at the bottom with a win rate of 39%. The Space Wolves and Death Watch top the charts this week, both getting an impressive win rate of 52.9%. The Black Templars are close behind with a win rate of 52.5%. The Blood Angels are the first in the yellow group with a win rate of 39.3%, and a lot more players in the chapters above. The Codex chapters are the last in the Goldilocks zone, with 47.1%. The Ultramarines in particular are getting nerfed alongside some of the Space Marines' stronger firepower units, which will drop the win rates at least by a little bit. The Dark Angels are the only chapter below the Goldilocks zone on 44.6%, and have in fact got a small nerf. The Codex chapters get the most wins in top 10s, which is now the norm. The Death Watch and Space Wolves both get 5, with the Dark Angels on 3, Templars on 2, and the Blood Angels on 1. I think Space Marines will be strong overall, especially the Death Watch, who are seemingly getting an improvement. The Ultramarines and therefore the Codex chapters will drop down a fair bit, with the other chapters losing out with the most efficient choices getting small nerfs. The Death Watch top the running total win rates with 51.5%. The Blood Angels are in second on a win rate of 48.6%. The Codex chapters come next on 47.7%, followed by the Space Wolves on 46.4%. The Black Templars just miss out on the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 44.9%. The Dark Angels are still at the bottom with a win rate of 43.5%, and are likely to remain at the bottom after the updates. This will be the last week of the Chaos Space Marine section, as it will be redundant once the balance update sees play. We will add the Emperor's Children to the faction rankings once they have their general release and are played across tournaments. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.